Going to be SK, because you have the ball to scout, you have the Nautilus dredge line if you want. You potentially can get out that cannon stun if you obviously hit your shurikens or whatever you level up in time. And then the Nami, that Aqua Prison is going to be so crucial if they do want to go for an invade.
Well, let's see. Right now, SK on that top side. Actually, Yellow Star is in the brush there just below them. Of course, he will back away from that one. He's pretty much isolated from the rest of his team there. No way that he's going to get himself caught out from that one. But SK definitely working their way over towards that blue buff.
XPK was just standing there like, yeah, go ahead, walk by. I'm not too worried, but it looks like they are going to get seeded. But in the meantime, SK actually just warding up and backing out. And Soaz doing some good harass here. We might see a level 1 engage happen, and I honestly don't know which way it'll go. Or we'll see a pause. I think we're going to see a pause.
Well, we're going to be, you know, left to wait in tension for this one for level 1 to see if anything actually happens there. Did see a couple of wards put down by both teams. Obviously, SK did ward in the brush there by that blue buff, so they're going to be able to keep a track of where Cyanide goes with that Nunu early on. And then we've not really touched on Nunu, really. I mean, we saw him in that last game, but he has obviously been changed so that he gets those bonuses now coming out from the jungle camps.
Right, so if you take a Golem camp, you'll actually get 10% health increase and size increase. If you take a Wraith or a Wolf, you get 3 seconds of increased movement speed after killing something. And of course, if you take a Lizard, you actually get, I believe it's 1%, something like that. It's like 1% of your total health and extra damage in terms of magic and your spells. So he's been changed around quite a bit. You've seen probably the video on Reddit where Nunu's solo dragon at level 3. So it can always happen. And not to mention the Blood Bow late game, if he builds it like RNA would build it a little bit earlier, a little bit supporty, a little bit tanky, it can really be hard to deal with. Not to mention, if he sticks to Candy Panda, how is he going to do damage when he has no attack speed with that and a Malphite in his face? Yeah,
and that's I think the real threat that they've got coming out, or at least one of the real threats coming in. We saw Lysandra in that last game, and honestly, the damage that she can put down and the initiation potentially, I think EG showed there that they're not 100% confident going up against Lysandra. Just the way that some of those kills happened showed me that they weren't 100% familiar with how that Lysandra could really start fights and what her entire kit could really do in the game.
It's selfish play like that really can win you games. You saw TSM, who won the summer split back in North America. Like I referred to him before, Reginald, but he does that consistently. But his team's able to pretty much win the fight off of that. And Frontlord did that. They played extremely well, and maybe we'll see Soaz be able to do that himself.
So we are back into the game then, and let's see how this level 1 all kicks off. And there's quite a lot going down there on towards Nip. He's very, very low at this point. Cyanide suffering a similar fate. Hercubot gonna hook him in. He will have to flash away. XPK's low. Kevin's low. Everybody's low at this point. Soaz maybe the one to get caught out. And in the end, everyone loses half HP. Nobody dies.
They're like, yeah, that's a good warm-up. Well, we'll just back out and go back to base. But we did see some summoners blown there, some key summoners. Soaz no longer has his Ignite. Cyanide no longer has Flash, which is going to be kind of key when he starts getting into some ganking. And N-Rated doesn't have Exhaust. Over on the other side for SK, Hercubot used his Flash, and Nick used his Flash and Ignite. So obviously, I have to give it in favor of SK since Nami has the ability to escape extremely well. But you're seeing Candy Panda couldn't back and heal. You didn't see Hercubot go back and heal either, as well as Nif. So they're already hurting right off the bat, where over on Fnatic's side, they were able to do that. So that gives Fnatic an early advantage.
And the game somewhat normalizes here after that crazy little start where everyone fancied a bit, but they didn't want to bite off too much that they could chew, and while that left us with pretty much everyone at that half HP, as we said. And we're going to have some funky lanes going on in this one, though, so we should probably take a bit of a look at that. We can see that the AD carry's facing off in the middle lane right now. That's Yellow Star with Varus against Candy Panda's Caitlyn. In the top lane, we've got Malphite versus Orianna. That's what we expected to see, but maybe in the middle lane. And then in the bottom lane on the other side, we've got Lysandra versus Kennen. But right now, SK are on the blue buff.
Yes, they are, and they don't know that it was actually warded, that entrance, and they're going to be backing out of it after taking the blue with the smite, and it looks like they're actually going to escape this, so very well done. XPK does get caught, though.
Dredge line coming out on towards XPK, and with 3 men there, you definitely can't afford to stand around, although Fnatic had managed to gather 4 men just to reply to that one there. Nothing coming of it, though, aside from the fact that Fnatic, of course, did manage to pick up that blue buff on the other side, as well as SK doing the same to them.
Yeah, so pretty much in the end, nothing really traded out there. Unfortunately, Fnatic, they weren't able to lock Hercubot down and go for that kill, but you mentioned the lane swaps, and yeah, it's kind of becoming something a little bit more normal, not necessarily with this lineup of supports. Usually, with someone like Blitzcrank, you're able to roam around the mid lane and really start to pull jungle creeps away and really hurt the other jungler. But you have a Nunu, so he can do that himself, but AD carry supports in the mid lane. Candy Panda already down very low in health, so that kind of shows that Fnatic is winning out this trade.
And that's pretty ridiculous there. Candy Panda getting low time after time. I mean, still has barrier and flash, but so does Yellow Star, and he's a player that definitely won't be afraid to use it there to get in and maybe pop those stacks of blight coming out. And see there, top lane, Peke got a big wave of minions here to be clearing out. But you know, this is always a fantastic duel to watch, the two Spaniards, Ocelot and next Peke going head to head. Yeah, it is. And I was taking a look at Masteries and Runes real quick for Peke. He's not running any AP, obviously, but he's also not running a percent armor pen, or magic pen. He's running a percent or a flat armor pen and flat magic pen, so he's not really going to be building any sort of damage. If anything, he's going straight tank, maybe a Chalice, just to kind of sustain in lane against Ocelot, but most likely just going straight tank, and we'll be following up Soaz in these fights. Yep, and there is Soaz in that bottom lane, currently pretty much bang on even with the Kennen of Kevin, who will be coming back into lane with a double Doran's Blade. So wanting to get as much harass as he can out in those early stages.
And the big thing that gives you is, it doesn't hurt you obviously as the game goes on too much, but it's all about that early game for Kennen. If you can pull off, you know, some really good CS, maybe pick up a kill, you'll be very well set for the rest of the game. So double Doran's Blade can provide a lot of harass to Soaz, who's that mid-range mage, that's hard to say, and really kind of benefit from it.
The CS between the two AD carries right now is also bang on even, so not much to separate these two teams out, as Yellow Star going to get caught in the bubble, and there goes the Howling Gale just to keep him safe. Yellow Star would have been safe, but wasn't really a danger of him dying in that scenario, but you know, every little bit of chip that you can get off onto your opposition is going to help.
Yeah, it is, and they're both running like percent armor or percent lifesteal as well, so you're not really going to harass each other too much out of lane, especially since you have that Nami to heal you up. But Yellow Star is actually running 19 flat armor pen, so a little bit different for him, as most AD carries don't do that. But it's really going to work out well for him here, because you know Kevin's going to go Azonias. Ocelot might end up going something like that. That's going to help out, and we're going to see as the game goes on.
Yeah, once again, bit of damage exchange, no real commitment from either side of things. But now, I see Nunu headed down. I say headed down, he's more headed up and then back down, because of course he is in the enemy jungle right now. Just getting himself a nice warding position. So I'm doing a decent amount of damage here on towards Kevin as well, forcing him to burn through all of those health pots.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job down there, and I really want to see how that lane's going to develop, because obviously 6 minutes in, no kills going down just yet, but I honestly couldn't pinpoint exactly where that first blood will end up coming. But I can say this though, I'm a little surprised that Candy Pen is actually even with Yellow Star in terms of CS. Caitlyn, you want to use that rain tier advantage as much as possible in the early game, but because he got harassed out so early on, he had to back out, and it kind of kept Yellow Star even with him.
And a very pensive start to this one. I mean, we said that a lot at the start of the spring split as well. You know, there's a lot on the line in the early stage. We know how important it is to get off to a good start. And, well, it's Fnatic versus SK. There's more than just you're standing in the LCS up for here as well. It's all about pride between these two very long-standing esports organizations. And then down in the bottom lane, actually, we are going to see Kevin using his ultimate there for just a little while onto Soaz. Did good damage, but not able to finish off and find the first blood.
I think Soaz was expecting some more damage than that on Kevin, because he just saw him and was like, hey, I'm going to engage on you. Maybe just a measurement of seeing how much damage I can do to you, but Kevin completely turned that around. And Soaz maybe picking up a cloth armor to deal with the auto attack harass that Kevin puts out, and also another Doran's Ring, so he wants to keep his mana up. He doesn't really have any guaranteed blue buffs, so he's kind of resorting to that, unless they want to steal it away from SK, but I don't really see that happening too much. And I love how you pointed out, like, it's the first week, and these teams who are in it from the spring season know that how important it is to win every game. Like, you can never relax or slack off in any of these weeks, and they're battling for pride.
Now, we did see Peke starting to gain a bit of a lead onto Ocelot up in his top lane, but that has since really fallen off a little bit. Still hanging around the 7 mark. Both players got the Chalice, but you can see that Malphite with that Crystalline Flask wards in there, and the boots as well. Obviously, Ocelot not being home to spend just yet. Actually, I say that, he's only sat on 570 gold, so that's just a bit of a lie from my side of things. Didn't quite pick up what we saw picked up from its Peke's side of things, but other than that, now in his top side, a bit of an invade starting to come around. Cyanide doing what now Anunu can do really well here with that Blood Boil on, with his Consume. He's clearing the jungle really fast. Candy Panda going to get caught, will use his barrier early on. Is he going to be able to escape this one? They turn it around onto Cyanide. Piltover Peacemaker comes out, and not a kill. Still, a 3-on-3 in the jungle, it stays level.
That was a great job by Nif to land that Aqua Prison just to stop that chase, and Candy Panda gotta be thanking him for that one. And, you know, the top lane, there's something we haven't touched on, which is always important. When we saw earlier today, Charu, specifically from Meteor Makers on his Ahri, we have teleport on Malphite. And we've seen, obviously, in the last split, how important teleport can be. We see in this split so far how important it can be. And I want to know when he's going to use it, because we always look at it, Joe, as, you know, it's kind of a wasted summoner spell until you get to that late game, or if you use it really early and benefit from it. But we're going to see if he's going to use it anytime soon. Obviously, he can get down for a dragon if he needs to, if he can dodge Ocelot's ulti.
Well, right now we can see that SK is starting to move through towards that red buff once again. Rewards are down. Kevin will be in there to back him up. Na'Vi going to be coming possibly down there as well, and this could get very dangerous very quickly for both sides if they're not careful. There's a lot of vision. There is the red actually going to be taken away in the end. And so as it's going to go in on towards Candy Panda, this could very well be first blood. Great 50 caliber net coming out, but Candy Panda is falling very low. Finished off there, and it will be a possible second. A double kill coming out for Soaz. And it doesn't get any worse than that.
It's not over.
Kill early on. We've got Kevin still in the bomb, but that dragon has been started.
Yes, it is. He does have ultimate available. Looks like he's just going to back off, though, and give it away.
Oh, top lane. Ocelot's going very low here to XPK as well. And that will be a kill. And the dragon.
Yeah.
Everything. What just happened there in that last 30, 40 seconds? Everything just opening up for Fnatic.
And SK just got a 2K gold lead off of that. Or sorry, Fnatic, sorry. Fnatic just got a 2K gold lead off of that with the dragon and those 3 kills. A phenomenal job by them. And they're approaching that point where they can start the team fight. We had expected actually 1v1 Ocelot, but he didn't have Ignite. And he still was able to 1v1 it, which to me is really surprising, but just shows that the skill level that these two players have.
And not to mention the fact that Soaz now is playing with a double buff, which is just going to make him all that more annoying and dangerous to Kevin down in this bottom lane. We'll see what he actually comes back with next time he gets back in there. He's got 1,700 gold to spend now. Does Soaz a little bit behind on that farm, but well, double kill with the first blood and the dragon is just a lot of gold to work with. And I'm sure that Kevin's going to have to be a little bit careful with how that one all breaks down on his side. Meanwhile, Malphite, of course, the XPK did get that kill, as we said, on towards Ocelot, and has rebuilt that big gold CS lead that he had before, now up to almost 30 CS.
And he also has a Haunting Guise now on top of that, so if he wasn't doing enough damage already to Ocelot, he's going to be fine even more in the bot. Let me see Soaz get engaged upon.
Yeah, we are going to see the depth charge coming in. Kevin going to use his ultimate as well, and surely Soaz is a dead man here. Kevin will take the kill and picks up that double buff, and that just shows you that Soaz is feeling confident, thinking that Kevin might not go into him, but with the help of Hercubot, they can make it work.
Yeah, we talked about Hercubot being so impactful, and with this Nautilus, he's been able to do it right there. The double buffs, like you mentioned, is such a key thing to have, because Kevin, who already built 2 Doran's Blades, is going to be able to harass them even more with the red on top of that. And it looks like SK's not done. They're going to be pushing the bottom turret as well in the meantime, the mid turret. So they might be able to pick up the first turret of the game here.
And there is that bottom outer turret being taken pretty low. Not sure if it'll be actually taken down as a whole. There is Candy Panda and Yellow Star again, exchange some damage. Nif, he's going to be knocked up in the middle lane. But, you know, that turret down in bottom, also very important for SK.
It really will be, because it gives Kevin that ability to really roam around if he wants to be free. And that's going to cause a lot of problems for Fnatic, where he's going to be able to gank the top lane or mid lane potentially and really start to snowball, you know, Candy Panda, who unfortunately isn't as far ahead as he'd like to be. And then also Ocelot, who's, like you mentioned before, that 30 CS difference, has been struggling in the top lane. Doesn't have Athenes and Holy Grail just yet, but they're really going to depend on his ultimate, so he really needs to get something going.
Right now, Nif just putting a couple of pink wards around that middle lane as Candy Panda was just pushing things through. Cyanide having to come over to cover. I mean, that is a dangerous lane. That Caitlyn, just the range alone is going to be something that they have to watch out for there. But look at this. Soaz starting to wander up towards that middle lane, but they've actually started to back away, back underneath that turret. Let's see if they end up going in for it.
Yeah, he was spotted by a ward coming up from bot lane, so it looks like they're going to back away, just like you said, and maybe not concede anything here.
Oh.
Actually, it looks like they might concede, but we're going to see Fnatic go in here.
They are going to go in for this one. Soaz right in on top. It's Candy Panda that's the target. Nif going low. There is the absolute zero, and it's the double kill with Cyanide from it as well. Finishes off perfectly, but he might now be in trouble himself, because he has to use that flash away. Fnatic coming around, as a 4, and that will be those 2 kills secured and safe. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Peke has got one over on his Spanish friend once again.
So 3 kills for Fnatic and the end of that, and yet again, expecting 1v1 Ocelot right there, reducing engage happening in the middle, but Kevin is ultimately just going to catch Yellow Star.
Yeah, Yellow Star is the one in trouble. He will flash away at the same time. Hercubot now turned around on onto Soaz, and now Kevin in all kinds of trouble. Gets 1 kill, but he will die at the end. Cyanide will pick up another one, plus the double buffs again. How long have those double buffs been in play?
Too long. I mean, we might see a buff on every single member of every team right now if we keep going at this rate. But Fnatic, they're really in the driver's seat. They have a nice gold lead. They have a nice kill lead. And you just see the strength of Lissandra right there. Went straight into Candy Panda, locked him down, and the team just collapsed on him and killed him.
Right now, SK just going to try and push this middle lane out here possibly, knowing that Fnatic have all backed away. And they want a first turret. They want something to bring this gold total back right now. I mean, if we look down the CS, Peke versus Ocelot, it's not even a contest there, especially when you add those kills into things. You know, you got Candy Panda slightly ahead of things, but overall they are behind, and they need to be careful that that level, you know, doesn't go too far away. Yeah,
I mean, the thing about SK's lineup is it's always going to be good just because of the champions they have. I mean, Nif, if he can land a perfect wave into a Kevin, you know, surfing it the entire way into Fnatic's team, like, they still have a really strong composition. Yeah, they're behind right now, but SK, they've come back from bigger deficits than this, and I really don't think they're out just yet.
That's for sure. I mean, we have seen them come back from games. We've also seen them ahead by this kind of margin and end up losing it as well.
Especially against Fnatic too.
Especially against Fnatic. You know, Ocelot is not shy of saying they seem to have a bit of a curse when it comes to playing Fnatic, as Candy Panda going very aggressive here on towards Yellow Star. Yellow Star turning around. There comes the ace in the hole. Not enough damage though to get the kill.
Cyanide was coming in from the backside here. Looks like he might go for it.
He's going to keep going through. There's the absolute zero coming in. It will be cancelled out by Nif. The dredge line doesn't quite land from Hercubot, but in the top lane, Ocelot again. What is happening here? Peke just trolling him right now. Finishes off another kill. That is 3 out of 3. The shockwave did nothing to stop that happening.
It's like well, he used it earlier, but the thing was, Peke is so sticky. Like, just with the seismic shards, able to keep up with him. And what's been happening top lane? Like, that's the real question. Yeah, Peke is up 3 kills against him now, but why has no one been helping that yet? Like, you know how key Ocelot will be to the whole composition, and yet they've been left on their own island just to kill each other. Well, at least one kill the other.
Now we've seen the Bloodthirster picked up by the best support that Fnatic have ever had, Yellow Star, 006 right now with that 125 CS. And look at this, Cyanide is trying to have that red buff away, but this time there are wards on top of his position, and Hercubot's going to go in there. Cyanide got that red buff anyway, and he's just going to walk himself out. Possibly here. Hercubot also not the easiest one to get away from. There's the tidal wave. There's the depth charge, but Peke comes in from the side. He's going to slow things down. Kevin trying to get through onto him. Peke will head south now. He gets bubbled up, and he's going to be the one to fall after all that. Cyanide will say, thanks, mate. That is very good teamwork from you, but sorry that you died.
Yeah, I was looking at like their kills right now. They both had 3, so in the end, one member of SK was going to get the killing spree bonus off of that. But still, look how much SK committed to that to kill them. It took them too long, and in the time that happened, Fnatic was able to push that bottom turret. They're going to go for the second one now, but SK might be able to respond with the top turret themselves.
Yeah, we'll see there are 2 men up there, Hercubot and Kevin. The bottom lane is still being pushed by Fnatic, and actually they're going to go in on towards Ocelot once again. He's not worth too much at this point. Soaz, on the other hand, maybe worth a little bit more, but honestly, will Nami have the damage? No, but Caitlyn may do, and that's going to be Candy Panda coming around the side. Yellow Star will put down the ultimate. That will slow them completely down. Meanwhile, in the top lane, there's a big fight going on. Kevin going very low. Absolute Zero is going to get him a kill again, and now they're on towards Hercubot, and Rayton knocks him back with the use of that Monsoon, and Nautilus not getting away. Peke picks up another one.
If I'm not mistaken, Rated ulted him into the ultimate of Cyanide and actually caught him with that damage. That teamwork is ridiculous, and I mentioned earlier, and Rated, we haven't seen him on Janna too much, but he's an amazing Janna. Like, any support he'll play, he's always fantastic at, and Fnatic now up 11-3 at this point. It's really coming to that point where SK, like, they have to figure out how are they going to get back, and honestly, Dragon might be that point since they have an Oracle on Nif. The problem is they can't 5-on-5 fight anymore. That's the problem they're running into.
So right now, Fnatic going to get a ward down on top of Dragon. There is Nif there with the Oracle. He's not in a position to really get down there and do anything about this one. He may just have a bit of sight there from that one ward off to the side, but well, Vision's all well and good, but if you can't do anything about it, it's just a bit more of a tease to, as you see it go down. At least they'll have the timer on it.
At least they'll have the timer. So, you know, that's going to hurt them quite a bit, and their whole composition. Like we know Caitlyn, she's going to be weak in this mid-game phase. She's going to obviously power up as the game goes on, especially with the Nami, the speed increase. She shouldn't really be hit too much in these fights. She should be able to dodge most of the ultimates. And SK, they just kind of need to hold on. Kevin needs to build. Looks like he's going for an Abyssal right now. He's unfortunately not able to get his Zonias, so he's kind of behind in terms of his build, but the Abyssal's going to help out quite a bit. And like I said, if they get that perfect ultimate, they can set up a fight where they can win, or at least pick up a couple of members where it's a favorable fight.
So let's have a look down those items right now. We see Fort Malphite almost up towards that Sunfire cape now as well, which just makes him so much more beefy. 4-1-1 currently is XPK, and 3 of those kills have come from, I say simple 1v1s, it's never simple, but
yeah.
You know, he's made it look that way on towards Ocelot, who's honestly not quite had the performance that, you know, it was said on the analyst desk. He's probably going to have to be the man to step things up here as Mutant in the top lane. As we're talking about it, Ocelot again, he's going to be beaten down, has to flash away. XPK's got a flash of his own, and that will be kill number 4, not quite. Can he get the finisher? No, Ocelot walks away, and now XPK has to run himself away from that one. Soa's starting to come in there. Nif is up in the top lane as well. Well, XPK has continued to turn this one around because Nunu is there, and Nif now, the one that's going to try and run for his life, gets the bubble down, but XPK picks up that one. Here comes Soaz from the side. Hercubot has to flash away, and that was just a big mess coming out for SK in the end.
It was a great job by Nif to save Ocelot right there, but in the end, he probably should have let Ocelot die. Because of that, he lost his Oracle. And honestly, at this point in the game, when you have
I think Nif was actually worth more than Ocelot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. That's also the second point of it, is that, you know, they already lost their middle, bottom, and top tier 1 turret. They need the vision that they in their own jungle to really control it, to kind of maybe get a sneaky kill on a Fnatic. But look at the ward coverage right now on the mini map for Fnatic. They have vision wards, they have sight wards down everywhere on the top side of the jungle, and SK, they can't afford another Oracle to clear that out.
Right now, Kevin is actually moving in from the bottom side. He was spotted and nicely dealt with there with the hail of arrows from Yellow Star. Gets that slowdown, stops really any oncoming pressure. There were 4 with Nami backing up as a 5th to put that damage down, but didn't work out for them. Cyanide right now just going to be warding up with the pink there on the Baron, and actually built over Peacemaker comes in. Few auto attacks. Cyanide right now with that Aegis really just does not care. Of course, the Spirit of the Ancient Golem giving him that 500 health plus everything else doesn't even hurt him.
Yeah, especially since he can consume right off the back of that too and just get so healthy from it. And I'm looking at this fight, it's like, who's SK going to kill right now? As you do see, Soaz going in on Kevin.
Oh, Kevin's in all kinds of trouble. Unstoppable Force was used as well. Uses his ultimate, but Soaz picks up another one, and that will be a 4-1-3 Alessandra with a 4-0-5 Nuno, a 5-1-12 Malphite.
It's funny.
2. 5-1-2, not 12.
The champions have changed for Fnatic, but it's still like the trilogy or the series of killing Kevin over and over. They just grouped up on him with the Malphite ultimate, with the Lissandra ultimate, and just blew him away. It looks like they're going to go in for Ocelot still.
Yeah, Soaz has not finished here, and he is going to go in on towards Ocelot. There's the shockwave, which pulls Peke actually closer in. Obviously doesn't have that unstoppable force. The turret, though, will go down. Yellow Star actually having to use his flash there to get away in the middle, but again, Fnatic able to get in and put down the damage, picking up objectives along the way.
And SK, they have a lot of work cut out for them to get back in this game, down almost 10,000 gold at this point. They haven't been able to get one dragon yet. Baron has not been taken as of yet either, but Candy Panda, 185 CS. He's ahead of Yellow Star right now, though he only has 5 assists less, but he has the Infinity Edge done. So he'll at least be doing a little bit of damage, and Ocelot, he's kind of fallen back into more of a support Orianna role right now in terms of him not having much damage. Kevin actually picked up an AC large rod, so he's trying to go for a Zonia's and an Abyssal Scepter at the same time kind of thing, which it might come out to actually work for them quite well. But then Fnatic, I mean, they're almost a full item ahead of every single member currently, and even Rated, who feels very confident with where he is, has double GP10, which you never see anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point about things as well. I mean, he's got those 8 assists on him right now as well, so we'll see where that actually leads this N-rated on Janna to be by the end of the game as well, since everything, to be honest, is going right for them. He's a good 2,000 gold ahead of his counterpart Nami right now.
And actually in North America, we see more Janna's build, actually a little bit of AP on top of that, so your shield obviously does a little bit more, your Monsoon helps out a little bit more, so he might build that into a Twin Shadow, you know, just to get a little bit of extra slow, but in the meantime, Fnatic's pushing this middle turret. SK, they try to defend them away from it. Just the presence stopped it, but I don't know how long that's going to work because right now, XPK is waiting on the sidelines to go in.
Yep, they are waiting there. And look at the pink wards that are down as well from Fnatic. Complete control of that top side of the jungle. And, well, the Baron really is what they've got control of there. And that's certainly something that SK, at this point, can't afford to let go. And I also don't think something that Fnatic would be particularly interested in at this point. They are that far ahead. Almost 11,000 gold after almost 24 minutes.
And I refer back to something that Dyrus actually said from TSM, that Baron, it's kind of like a new magnet. Like when you're this far ahead and you're this experienced as a team, there's no reason to be going for that. You know how to close out games and you just have to execute that. And right now, SK still with XPK on the side. It's like a ticking time bomb here, and it looks like Fnac's going to engage.
They're going to go in there. Soa's actually getting right in on top of them. There's the unstoppable force as well, and they are locking them up. Kevin actually getting in decently amongst them. The tidal wave will come through as well, but there's just too much damage. That's a good shockwave coming out from Ocelot, but will they be able to finish off? Right now, it's 2 for 1 in favor of SK, and they're going to keep chasing here. Although expect at full HP, it's going to take a long time to actually get him down. There's a good Howling Gale. PK safe.
So that is what SK needed to get back in the game. Kevin with the perfect position right there, going into the team of Fnatic and just locking them down while they try to deal with everyone else. A 1-for-2 trade that, SK, they honestly needed at this point, just being down this far currently. They do get a pull on a Janna here.
Yeah, he actually went through there as the ace in the hole from Candy Panda. Gonna tie it up, and that was a bit of a strange one, actually getting through with the Howling Gale as well. On that dredge line working out for him, and that pulls them back a little bit, gives them turret number 3 in this game, and it's never over.
It's never.
League of Legends is never, games are never over, however far behind you are. Although at this level, you have to say it's less likely for the teams to make a major mistake.
Yeah, very true. But you might even say that fight might have been a little bit of a mistake on Fnatic's side, just because they kind of lost it. But I think SK noticed a little bit of a problem they're going to have is XPK. He was in the back line of SK and wasn't touched. Like for the entirety of the fight, he almost soloed Ocelot 1v1, and obviously he was doing it earlier. He needs to not be able to do that. Ocelot needs a little bit more damage, but still, the tidal wave that came in, the ultimate out of Kevin was very well set up, and even the Orianna ultimate, they didn't use it all together, but they used it defensively just to escape the fight and not lose as many people.
And we'll see Cyanide who got those boots of mobility on him now as well, just to make him even more annoying. I mean, you just don't get away from a Nunu.
And has home guards.
Yeah, and has home guards as well. From a Nunu Malphite combo, very difficult to actually get away there with those slows that they can put down. A lot of pings going on right now, a lot of wards at the same time put down by Enrated, who, just bringing in the money all over the place with these double GP10. He's now 3,000 gold, almost in the lead over his opposite number Nick.
And you're seeing the reflection of that just in the amount of wards we've been noticing now throughout the jungle of SK. And it looks like Fnatic actually might set up for Baron right now. And to be honest, they've let the least amount of Barons go to the other team in the entirety of the spring split of LCS. We're going to see Hercubot face check.
Oh, Hercubot, he's got a face check in there. Can they actually peel him off here? I mean, we've got the ball on him, and that's already a big deterrent for Fnatic. They know that big tanky Nautilus in the middle of them, a shockwave can really bring them all down very quickly, as we saw in that last fight. But Fnatic are going to once again back away towards the Baron pit. The question is, are they going to actually start it off? Well, unwillingly they have, as we are going to see them pushing in for this one. Nif absolutely destroyed in that one. They're going to keep going through. There is the shockwave though. Points on 3 of them. Kevin going to dive on top of them. He goes down. That's a double kill. Coming in for Yellow Star. Cyanide did use the absolute 0. They're going to follow through. Ocelot is a dead man. They're still chasing Candy Panda. Hercubot and him though will get away from that. And that was a 3-for-1 here for Fnatic.
Yeah, with Fnatic, just the vision control they have, even with the Oricon and Rated, they denied all vision to SK, and they had to check it. We even see Candy Panda kind of getting chased down, as you check out on your screen, from XPK, which, as you can tell, Candy Panda's not really going to win that trade, but Fnatic, they're kind of baiting SK into some Baron fights here, as they're going to be backing away or engaging.
Oh, Soa's actually going in. They've managed to catch Hercubot, but will they be able to finish him off? That Howling Gale will certainly help. Slow after slow coming in by Fnatic. In the end, though, Hercubot will walk away from that. Didn't attempt the Baron. Probably a wise choice in hindsight from Fnatic.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. They're only getting stronger at this point, and if anything, they're going to use it as a bait. They're not actually going to fully go for it here. They do have one outer turret left to take, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do want to go for that. but as you are seeing right now, XPK taking away the blue buff from SK, and we mentioned earlier, you know, in the alternate UG game, where if you can keep taking away the blue buff from the enemy, you really hurt them, especially in Anivia, and especially in Orianna, who doesn't have that 40% CDR, which Ocelot is going to be hurting for now in these fights.
Yeah, I mean, the Athene's going to be helping him out a little bit with that one, but honestly,
not enough.
Not enough at this point, that's for sure. If we look down the AD carry scene, then I say not too far away, but you know, Infinity Edge compared to a Bloodthirster, then you've got Zeal for both. Last Whisper is already done over for Yellow Star as well, and he's got 900 gold to spend. Right now, 1,000 gold on Caitlyn to spend, which we will see spent up there with that pickaxe coming in, double Doran's blade for him. So, you know, overall, the problem that I think SK are going to have here with Candy Panda is that, you know, if Peke gets on top of them, number one, your attack speed's gone. And number two, even if you do attack him, he's got almost 400 armor. Yeah,
so the last Whisper, you mentioned it on Yellow Star, Candy Panda needs to get one. And the funny thing is, Yellow Star has one when the other team doesn't have that much armor currently. Like, you have Azonia's on Kevin, so pretty much Yellow Star can sit back and attack whoever he wants to. If Hercubot gets in his face, he's not going to be worried about it. He'll be able to take him 1v1. We do see an Oracle picked up on Nip right now, and Raiden still has one as well, so they're trying to kind of catch each other out here, and you might see a fight break out.
There's a Howling Gale going over there. It looks like they want to go for Hercubot, who is going to be the big tank if they can get him down. Surely SK don't have a chance of standing around in this one. Soaz will finish that one off, and there is Nautilus gone. And not only that, with Baron available, there's no smite.
Yeah, that is very true. And just go back real quick to that fight. We saw Ocelot. We talked about blue buff and the cooldown reduction. The Command Protect was on its way to Hercubot. It would have saved him, but he didn't have blue buff. He didn't have that cooldown reduction. And with that last fight, Fnatic will be going for Baron here. And honestly, it's not going to last too long. It looks like SK is just going to give it away and try to push a lane or two. Or actually, it's going to seem like they're 100% sure that Fnatic is going for it.
Well, it doesn't really matter. They've got a Nunu jungle who's got Consume and Smite. That is a lot of damage to come out very quickly. You shouldn't be missing anything with that. And well, if there's one man in Europe that can, you know, time the smites down to perfection, it's Cyanide. Seeing him stealing time and time again. And so right now, then, let's have a look at the overall picture. It's a gloomy one, I think, is the overview for SK Gaming right now. 19-6 behind in kills, 5-3 in turrets. 52,000 to 37,000 only gold. We've got the Baron buff now on Fnatic, and the only thing that SK can really do is look to farm up here as much as they possibly can.
And the thing is, we always look at compositions like this and how they're going to take an inhibitor turret. So right now for Fnatic, they have no threat of just attacking it. Like, SK cannot do a really hard engage on top lane unless they want to do the Nami Kennen combo, but I don't really think that's going to fully catch Fnatic off guard. So they're going to be able to siege these turrets down, and SK, they don't have that much great wave clear. It's all up to Ocelot, who doesn't have the blue buff, the regen, the cooldown reduction. So SK, they're going to have a really tough time defending against this, but Nif, we've seen him land perfect Aqua Prisms before on the Soaz. If he can do it again, they could potentially go for a kill on him, or at least keep him out of the fight. Though we have to say, Soaz does have Zonies now.
Look at that damage already there onto Candy Panda. Just a couple of attacks coming in, a couple of abilities, the arrow coming out, and Soaz getting in there as well. And he's left with almost nothing just after that little spate of attacks. Right now, Peke waiting over the side of the wall, and well, between him and Soaz, they can cause pretty much death for everyone that lands, that's landed onto in their path. Yellow Star here is going to get focused down, but look at that Shockwave, absolutely in nowhere, and that might be a sign here for Fnatic to keep going onto things. Candy Panda down to half HP in the end, but Fnatic decided, no, we're not going to go just yet, but they know that Shockwave's not there. They know that there's a lot down in terms of ultimates from Hercubot as well, which can be a big one. There is a chance that they could go here in the next couple of waves.
Yes, very true. And I love how I talked about how SK has no real way to lock down Yellow Star, so you can just re-attack the turret, and right there they pull him in and almost kill him instantly. So at least SK can use that and a little bit better about themselves, maybe be able to use that. I think we have XPK engaging.
And they're all dead. At least two of them are for now. Fnatic in there. Kevin's going to try his best, and he gets in with his ultimate, uses his Zhonya's, but the damage is just not there for him. And they're going to kite him around. Double kill coming out for Soaz, and there is XPK on the fountain, is now unstoppable. He's got the turrets hammering away at him. He wants a little bit more of a piece of Hercubot, while the rest of his team really starts to push through for the win.
And it looks like a Classico might be over as soon as it began. 32.5 minutes, so they're on the Nexus turrets, and it looks like Fnatic will close this game out.
Yeah, they certainly will, I think, at this point. 20 seconds pretty much until the team comes up. Fnatic going to finish off the turrets. The Nexus is going to fall, and they make their record 19-0 against SK Gaming here. But more important,